Hello everybody, Clear Surf Financial Education, Carl Keister here. I thought I would bring today a little update on what I see out there in the market since the market has now moved. The Dow has moved down over 1,800 points in just the last 3 sessions. Now, this is a common occurrence. This is not unusual when you get this much uncertainty in the market. And I can tell you from experience of 14 years of managing people's money, when you get the uncertainty we have with the uptick in COVID cases, which is putting pressure on companies and governments that think should be shutting down, and if that happens, how much revenue we're going to lose, how many people out there might lose their jobs if this uptick continues throughout the rest of the fall. You combine that with the uncertainty of the election, and now that if you believe the polls, if you follow the polls, the Democrats are leading, Biden's leading, and he's already promised on raising taxes, which will definitely impact the bottom line of companies who will be forced to probably cut more jobs. That's just my opinion. I've seen it happen in other cycles, and raising taxes generally leads to loss of jobs. So we'll see, but right now I don't see a whole lot of positives where you would want to be sticking new money in the market right now with COVID ticking up, election uncertainty, and then you've also got this huge move lately. It just seems as though some of these tech stocks have just gone up through the roof. If you look at the Zooms and anything that deals with working from home, it's skyrocketed, which justifiably, yes, more of us are working from home than ever. That goes without saying. But some of these technologies, they're going to have competition. If you start getting a big enough piece of the pie, like a Zoom or anything else there that's going to come out of nowhere, basically in the last year, you're gonna attract attention from the big boys, the players like the Microsofts and Facebook, Google, Amazon. You're gonna draw the attention. It's kind of like blood in the water. So for right now, though, if you're a long-term investor, I would not be too worried, because I will tell you, I was in the business managing other people's money during the last election, and we had one of the biggest, I think it was the 4th or 5th biggest money manager in the country in our office the day before the election, and they had said it was a 75% chance that Clinton was going to win, and a 25% chance that Trump was going to win, and we know how that worked out. So I look as if some of the biggest money managers who are managing trillions of dollars, if all their people and statistics and polls can't figure it out, I'm not going to try. You probably should follow along the same paths and don't risk your money and change your opinions based on pollsters, because we've proven the last election that did not work. So just want to bring it out there. Also, you see a huge jump in GDP, and that's obvious because when we shut the economy down for the first time in history, a complete shutdown, now things are starting back up. So you're going to see these numbers are going to be so swayed one way or the other that it's going to be hard to really get anything positive or negative from that. We're going to have to see what goes on going forward. But obviously, as this pandemic ticks up, I read yesterday that Germany is talking about partial light shutdowns, they call them, which is shutting down bars, restaurants, gyms, cinemas, those kind of things. My experience was last time it happened to us, or last time it happened in Europe, it came over here 3 or 4 weeks later. We were trailing them. So I would not be surprised if we see something like that. But if you're a short-term investor, you need to be very, very careful right now. I take it from past experiences. Anytime that I thought you're absolutely certain, like the last election, what the market was going to do, it seems to prove you wrong. So don't try to time the market. Don't try to predict where this is going to go. But what you need to do, if you're a long-term investor and you're looking out more than days, weeks, or even months, hold the course. Keep dollar costing in as things go up, because traditionally in the past, whenever we've had a mix of Democratic-controlled White House or Senate and House of Representatives, when we have mixes of those two, little gets done normally, and that's generally been good for the market. So I would not get too overly concerned about that, but it's something to keep in mind. Now I want to talk a little about the stimulus. So there was mentioned that the stimulus checks are not going to go out, obviously, before the election. That goes without saying now, because nothing's going to get done. There's already been a recess put in place throughout the election, so don't expect anything there. And it's unfortunate because I think that there are a lot of people out there that need help right now. And if the money could have gone out directly to those people, I think it would have benefited the country at this point in time. And trust me, I'm not a fan of printing checks and running up this $27 trillion deficit we have and making that even worse, which is what we're doing right now. But this really isn't anybody's fault in this country. And so that's kind of tough to penalize people for that. I feel bad for those people in the restaurant industry, the bar industry. That industry is just under so much pressure. But, fortunately, I think we're going to have something coming soon with the vaccines. But on the realistic side of things, we're probably not going to see this through 2021. You're still going to have a mix of people that don't want to take the vaccine, if it even is available, people that don't want to wear masks versus do. I think we're going to be dealing with this. We're going to be dealing with this into 2021, and a lot's going to be determined between the vaccines, the elections, and how this plays out. So, unfortunately, not a lot of positive things in there. I feel kind of heavy right now, to be honest with you. It's just one of these things where we'll have to see how it plays out. But again, if you're a long-term investor, I wouldn't panic just quite yet. So, with that being said, stay positive, stay in the market, stay focused, and we'll see you on the next one.